the problem with the handlebars being so far out is that it arches my back a little bit too much, and then the seat gets uncomfortable after a while. But one of the first things I'm gonna do on this bike is put I'm gonna put some bar risers, some pullback bar risers, and that should make it very comfortable, right? So yeah, look at this. So a lot of power, awesome, love it. So another thing, the gears on this bike are different than the MT-09. I feel like on the MT-09, of course, if you're hitting the power band, you can do second gear 80 miles per hour if you're really like accelerating, right? But this bike, on the MT-09, you can't really chill on second gear at 50 miles per hour because that's when you get a lot of engine braking and you're on the power band. So if you're doing that, you need to be accelerating. This bike here is actually like I can chill at 50 miles per hour third gear, or even second gear. I can chill at 50 miles per hour and it is super smooth still. Like it's not like the bike is not suffering at all. The engine braking is still smooth. It's an insanely smooth ride. I really like this on this bike, and that's what made me buy this bike. Actually, I rode it around the dealership and I saw how smooth it was. I was like, okay, yeah, this is it, because I was looking for a smooth ride. Foot peg position, I really like the Ford Control, as I mentioned, very comfortable. I will put some mini floorboards because like these foot pegs, I feel like my feet they slip back a little bit if I'm riding on the highway. Like I rode on the highway for about an hour and my feet, they keep like sliding down, right? So better grips, so put a little mini floorboard just for that, and then it'll be perfect. So for me, the only thing that this bike is missing that it should have out of factory would be some bar risers, like pullback bar risers, because it's a cruiser. I get it that they wanted to make it a little bit more sporty, but just buy a naked bike, right? I mean, why do you want a cruiser to be sporty? Just buy a naked bike. you get all the sportiness you need there. You get an MT-09, you get all the sportiness you need. So it doesn't make sense to me. Like if it's a cruiser, I want to cruise, I want to chill. So some bar risers, like right here. So about 4 more inches. These are 6-inch risers that come with this bike. So right here, like so 10-inch bar risers pull back. I would be in a very comfortable sitting position. I could sit and ride this bike all day, not have any pain. Right? So let's talk about brakes. The brakes, they are okay. Definitely not the same stopping power as the MT-09, so I gotta watch out for that and be more careful, learn how to use them. If you want more stopping power, you do have to use both, but again, it's not that it's bad brakes. I'm comparing it to a naked sports bike, right? Which has a performance, it's lighter, so don't get me wrong here. Don't say I'm not saying these are bad at all, okay? They're decent, but they don't have the same power. So if you want more stopping power, you have to use more of your back brake, which on the MT-09, I basically never really had to use the back brakes, only if I was like maybe doing some slow turns or some things like that. But yeah, this bike, very smooth. I really like it. I mean, the brakes are nice. So yeah, these are basically my first thoughts. Like the bike is very smooth. Engine braking super smooth. Power delivery very smooth. I like the sitting position. I just don't like the handlebars being so far forward. So bar risers, pullback bar risers actually. not even just the 10-inch ones that they offer. I'll look for some aftermarket ones that are pulled back and make them work, because I feel like that would make my riding way more comfortable. So one of the things that I have to mention, with the bars being so far forward, I rode it on the freeway, as I mentioned, for an hour. I had a little bit of discomfort on my shoulders because of that, right? So that's why I would definitely put a bar risers. That'll be the first thing I do on this bike, and some floorboards. So on the MT-09, I had less shoulder discomfort than this bike, and that's a sports bike, well, a naked sports bike, because that bike is more upright than this one because of the way that because of how long the tank is on this bike. Okay. But on that bike I had knee pain, and that's not because the bike is uncomfortable, but because I have a bad knee. On this bike, I rode back from the dealer, had zero knee pain. I got home, my legs were totally fine. I was very surprised. My bum was fine too, but there was some discomfort because I had to keep leaning forward for the bars. So yeah, after changing the bars, it'll be better. So if you guys want to see more content on this bike, guys, subscribe. I'll also make a video explaining to you guys why I chose this bike over the Honda Rebel 1100, because I did test ride a Honda Rebel 1100. I even rented one and I test rode it. I was actually, because of the price of this bike, I was actually thinking that I was just gonna buy that bike. But after I test rode this bike, I was like, yeah, no, this is it. So I'll give you guys like a better detailed information on why I chose this bike on another video, and I'll also explain why, make a separate video on why I sold my MT-09 for this bike. So I'll see you guys on the next one. I hope you guys have a wonderful year that's coming up. This video is probably going to be up on New Year's already, so hope you guys have a wonderful time, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.